Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Baker Eclipse, and I am the Interim Commissioner for the Boston Parks and Recreation Department. We're thrilled to be here today to celebrate the completion of the improvements of Codman Square Park, a beloved neighborhood gathering space that's now has new life and new energy. And I want to thank Chef Gates from Delectable Eats for the delicious food that he's serving today. This project has been a true collaboration with the community. So before I get started, I want to thank Mayor Michelle Wu for your leadership and commitment to making Boston's parks welcoming, accessible, and resilient. The Codman Square Neighborhood Council and the Friends of Codman Square Park, especially Cynthia Lesh Johnson, who have been incredible partners and advocates throughout this process. I also want to acknowledge our city partners who made this project possible. The Community Preservation Act Office, Thadeen and Liz Cook are here today. Thadeen Brown and Liz Cook. The Office of Green Infrastructure, Allie Rowe is here. And Climate Ready Streets, which is a program at the Mayor's Office of New Urban Mechanics. And of course, our dedicated park staff, including project manager Nellie Ward, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, and the design team at Kyle Zick Landscape Architecture, and the contractors A&J Construction, who made the improvements possible. Thank you. The redesigned park features upgrades that improve accessibility and circulation, create flexible spaces for events and everyday use, and incorporate climate-resilient landscaping. A highlight of this project is the new artistic element, I Am Codman Square, created by local artist Destiny Palmer, which reflects the rich cultures of the community. This $1.1 million investment is a testament to what happens when the city and the community work hand in hand to reimagine and strengthen our neighborhood parks. With that, I'd like to welcome Brian Sweat, Boston's Chief Climate Officer, to share a few words.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for dialing up just an absolutely gorgeous fall day. I just want to mention a couple of the aspects of the park that really, under Mayor Wu's leadership, we are bringing climate resilience into every piece of infrastructure we do in every park, and sometimes it's behind the scenes and sometimes it's front and center. But really, Codman Square Park is a model of climate resilient design, prioritizing community comfort, sustainability, and adaptability to climate change. I want to highlight a couple of features. The climate resilient cooling towers behind you, which are still on, with the misters going on a day like this.
ABC, boycott Channel 5, boycott ABC.
We never know when we're going to get an 80-degree day.
Boycott because they suck it up to Donald Trump. Boycott WCBB News Boston. Woo! Boycott WCBB News Boston. If you guys are here, boycott.
Thank you. We never know when we're going to get an urban heat island day. We know that this community is an environmental justice community with the amount of hardscape. We want to bring opportunities to bring cooling throughout the time periods where we might have a heat island and might have an extreme heat day. So that is one of the key features. Rain gardens and porous pavement. I am standing on porous pavement now. We want to make sure that we are getting as much water into the ground and of service to the trees and not having it flood residences, flood streets. So we're bringing permeable pavement wherever we can. And thank you in particular to the Office of Green Infrastructure for supporting that, that particular feature. Sorry? Sorry, we're here for the opening of the park. We're gonna get through the presentation, and then lastly, I'd like to highlight, as Kathy mentioned, this is a key park for major events. So we really focus on accessibility and activation with improved circulation, performance space, electricity access, and gathering areas for this park. We know one of the key features here regularly is the Codman Square Farmers Market. This is a much easier place to access for all of the residents of the community to participate in that critical access point for nutritious and affordable food. So with that, those are just some of the highlights of the thoughtful designs and elements to make this a model climate resilient urban park for the city of Boston to follow. And this is what the mayor wants throughout our city. So it is now my pleasure to introduce our mayor and the champion of the parks, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank all those who had a hand in making this incredible space even better than it had been before as a space for community, and you heard a little bit about all the features. I know there's a lot on our community's minds, and especially our neighbor here with the two adorable little pups. We know that housing is also a huge stressor, and we got to keep fighting for rent stabilization. We know that jobs, we know that schools, education, all of this is part of what our community deserves. That's what the Codman Square Neighborhood Council has made clear from the very beginning, that it's not just about checking the box on one issue here or meeting the bare minimum here. We deserve it all, and our community members have to have the supports, have to have the empowerment and the leadership and the opportunities to live the fullest of all of our lives for every generation. And so I want to thank this community for always modeling what it means to roll your sleeves up, get it done, no matter what's coming at us, and we're going to keep fighting. And that's right, by the grace of God, we will keep moving forward. Today we're here to celebrate a really, really important part of what brings all of this together. Our parks are the spaces that are home away from home. Our parks are the spaces that aren't just for fun, although fun is a critical part of how we become a home for everyone. But when you peel away, look underground of all the surfaces, our parks are really critical to how safe we are when it comes to major storms, how safe we are when it comes to heat that is growing every summer and throughout the year. And our parks are also a place where we are safe because we know each other and are connected to community. And so when we say Boston is a home for everyone, when we say we're the safest major city in the country, we're not saying that to say the work is done or that we're taking a victory lap. We say that to say the standards are high for our city because that is what our residents expect of us. That is what our communities deserve. And we're going to keep fighting to keep pushing those standards higher and higher. I want to recognize my colleagues in elected office who are here, who have been such incredible champions of the work across city, state, and our federal delegation. So we are joined here by City Council President Ruthie Louis-Jean, City Councilor Henry Santana. Okay, he's on my card, but I don't see him here. City Councilor Aaron Murphy, State Representative Russell Holmes, State Representative Brandy Fluker-Reed, State Senator Nick Collins. Okay, so thank you to all of our elected colleagues, including those who couldn't be here today. And you will hear from some of the incredible community leaders who made this possible, including Pastor Price, President Cynthia Lesh-Johnson, and some of the local artists who have been involved in creating and infusing this with the spirit of our community. So thank you to the Codman Square Neighborhood Council. Thank you to the Friends of Codman Square Park for working so closely with our Parks Department over many years to get us to this point. Under Chief Sweat, our Commissioner Kathy Baker Eclipse, and the entire Parks and Recreation Department team, we are working citywide to make sure our green spaces are beautiful, resilient, vibrant, and a home for everyone. This has been nearly 8 years of dedication here in Codman Square, and decades more even before that to lay the groundwork for where we are. Boston is a city where friends and neighbors look at an empty lot or a forgotten corner or an underutilized park, and instead they see farmers markets, barbecues, love your block cleanups, shaded benches and green lawns, places to gather and perform, and public art that represents the community. So I would double down on the shout out to Destiny Palmer and Elena Mahoney for their talent, their creativity, for pouring of themselves and channeling our community into this incredible I Am Codman Square sculpture, which reflects the deep roots of this neighborhood and community, from the indigenous people who called Codman home hundreds of years ago to the vibrant community that calls it home today. Their work embodies the truth that to create community and a home for everyone, it takes all of us. So this is now a space where, with these improvements, with the refresh, with the the deep work that might not even be visible to the eye in terms of the climate impacts and the protections that are now baked in here. This is a space where we want every family across Boston, and particularly the families of Codman Square and Dorchester, to be able to come play, breathe in the fresh air, and build community. We are planting seeds so that our city can grow. Yes. And this space, with all of the climate resilient features, with all the designs that are made, that are designed specifically for gatherings, for farmers markets, for everyone to come in, for performances, we are cutting the ribbon not only on a park, but on a new phase for community to be able to keep building. And so I know some of the trees that have been planted are still got the little support mechanism, little sticks that are tied up to make sure they continue to grow tall. We will remember the day when some of the kids who are here in this park now will bring their kids to sit under the shade of the big trees and say, I remember when this community came together, demanded that we deserve more, and then found a way to make it happen. So congratulations to everyone, and thank you for all that you do to make Boston who we are. So now I get to pass it over to Madam President of the Codman Square Neighborhood Council and Friends of Codman Square Park as well, Cynthia Lesh-Johnson.
There are a lot of people to thank, so I will be using notes today. How's everyone doing this afternoon? You could do better than that. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Yes! Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. We did it, okay? Look around. Give yourselves a big round of applause, please. We did it. Again, I'm Cynthia Lesh-Johnson, president of the Codman Square Neighborhood Council, which is an all-volunteer civic association here in Codman Square, and I'm also with the Friends of Codman Square Park. I want to thank the Friends of Codman Square Park for making this possible. We are so proud to be a part of the history of this park. Now, historically, this space was not a park. In the 1980s, the leadership of the Codman Square Neighborhood Council worked with the then owners of the Latin Academy parcel and the City of Boston to transform this space into open space. That meant discontinuing the street, Center Street, that went up to Washington Street and having it turn onto Talbot Ave. We are so grateful for those before us that understood the importance of creating this open space in the heart of Codman Square so that we could build upon it. So how did we get here? Well, back in 2017, after hosting the Codman Square Farmers Market in this space for about 9 years, we determined that the Codman Commons, which is how we referred to it back then, needed a redesign so that we can truly activate the space. This effort started with a vision of what we wanted to see in this space. That vision developed into a plan, and that plan led us to implementation, construction, and now completion for us to all be here today. Now, the pandemic did try to slow us down, but we pushed through, and here we are 8 years later with a vision brought to life. Yes. I do need to take a moment to quickly thank the Friends of the Codman Square Park. We keep throwing around that entity. Here's who they are. The Codman Square Neighborhood Council, Second Church of Dorchester, the Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation, Bold Teens, the Codman Square Health Center, Talbot Norfolk Triangle Neighborhood United, Codman Square Farmers Market, former Boston City Councilor Andrea Campbell, now Attorney General, State Representative Russell Holmes, Boston City Councilor Brian Morrell, the Boston Parks and Recreation Department, of course, the Community Preservation Act Fund, the Office of Green Infrastructure, the Office of New Urban Mechanics, local artist Destiny Palmer, you'll hear from her soon, landscape architect Kyle Zick, the Brown Fund, and of course the many residents and families that attended our meetings that were focused on visioning, designing, planning, and then the construction of the park. Yeah. And we held those meetings right here in this space so everyone could take part and make sure their voice was heard in the designing of this park. A quick note on the Brown Fund. Their funding helped us engage in a call for artists and a request for proposals for the landscape. And that process helped us build this all-star team that you'll hear from that we had working on the park, and allowed us to bring the art that you see up front, the I Am Codman Square art installation, to life, because we really wanted to see art in this space. Also, a special thanks to our interim commissioner, Kathy Baker Eclipse. She has worked on a number of our parks here in Codman Square, and she's done an exceptional job. And we are so grateful for her investment in our neighborhood and her leadership on this effort, because without her, over these 8 years, this would not have been possible. And we can't forget Nellie Ward, the project manager. She really helped bring this project over the finish line. Now, before I pass the mic, I know I've had it for a minute, I want to be clear. The work does not stop here. It's only just begun. I challenge all of you to do your part to activate this space, bring activities and programming to this park so that we can continue to enhance it, beautify it, and make this park all that it can be. Thank you all so much for your time and attention, and we'll pass it on. Are you going to MC it? Okay, I'll pass it back to Kathy for the next speaker. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. It has been a true pleasure to work with the Codman Square community. You really are one of my favorites in the entire city. So, I'd now like to introduce a really critical partner, the Second Church, alongside us in 2017 to vision what the space could be. I'd like to introduce Pastor Victor Price from the Second Church in Dorchester.
Thank you. This space may seem to be a very small space. However, value is not determined by size, but more so by purpose and function. And today we want to just talk about the issue of community and this space. This space, we hope as we continue to utilize it, that it will be a place where individuals would come together and form meaningful relationship. We live in the most diverse community in Boston.
Yes.
It should be a place where communities and cultures can come together, and that's our vision, where cultures can come together and share ideals and values and be able to appreciate and respect the distinctions that we all carry from different locations, immigrants and those that are born here alike, to be able to share our values, our cultural distinctions, and to appreciate one another in a very meaningful way. We hope this space could be a crossroad of kind of bringing harmony, racial. One of the things about Dorchester, beautiful thing about Dorchester, that we are coming from so many different cultures. The ability to maintain a sense of racial harmony and ethnic diversity is critical in this space. It's the crossroad where we have 23 and 22 and the 26 bus line pass. We have the commuter rail in Talbot Avenue. We have Ashman Station and Charlotte Station. We are the hub where so many things can come together to make this place a meaningful place, and not just a place for relaxation or rest, but a place where we can be able to share some ideas from a political perspective, economic perspective, also consider issues from a social perspective and religious perspective. We can use this place for discussions in order to enhance our community and develop a sense of meaning within the cultures. We want this place to be a park, not just a park, but a park that's different to other parks. It may not carry the flowers that adorns the Boston Public Park or Public Garden. It may not have the monuments that are in Boston Commons. It may not have the neon lights that shines on those high buildings right in downtown Boston. But in this park, we can have exhibitions and we can have places where we can highlight our artists, we can highlight our musical distinctions. We have compa, we have reggae, we have soca, we have salsa, we have merengue, we have spoods, we have calypso, we have a whole bunch of musical genre in our community. This could be a place where we demonstrate our values and distinction and make ourselves appreciate one another. This is the place where we can have an art exhibition of art display from our local. We have wellness and health. We have the farmers market here. But what about our artists and our entrepreneurs, where we can have a display of art, right? From those of us who are very artistic, we have the graffitis out there. We can turn this place into a place where our artistic expertise are represented by our young people. We can do that in this place. It may be a small place, but it is a very significant place. One of the most meaningful things about this space is that at this present moment, with our diverse culture, we can be able to acknowledge our distinctions, acknowledge, highlight our diversity, but above all, celebrate our unity. This is a place where we can all come together in a form of celebration, where we highlight our distinctions, acknowledge our diversity, but consider ourselves as one community with one purpose, maintaining a sense of dignity, a sense of harmony, whether it is racial, ethnic, social, political. We hope one of the things that's going to happen, let me just say this, is that when in a year or two from now, this pole will be removed for all the tenants are returning into the steeple. But we are hoping to expand this private space, this public space, into our private space for public use. So hopefully it wouldn't be just this location here, but we'll have the whole center of Codman Square as a place that could be utilized by the public. And we hope that you will not only see the value of this place as a park and a place, but a matter to see it as for its purpose and what we can accomplish when nations and people of different ethnic backgrounds and racial groups come together to celebrate our unity. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Price, for those lovely words. As part of this project, we were honored to work together with the community and commission this beautiful sculpture that reminds us not only of who we are, but who we are as a community. Please welcome artist Destiny Palmer to say a few words.
Hello, everybody. I am certainly an artist who likes to be in the studio, but I'm happy to share a few words with you here. As an artist, and I'm also an educator, it's really important for me to find ways that I can have conversations that best represent the people that I'm amongst. So I just want to send a huge thank you to Codman Square community for enriching me with all of what you know, all of who you are, so that I am filled, so that I could offer my representation of the community. There are a few things that I absolutely love as an artist, and one being history, because I think the way that we move forward is really constantly looking back and figuring out where we've been. And so in this process, I learned a lot about this very specific intersection, it being a place where multiple cultures and communities were kind of exchanging or passing by for the very first time. And to me, that's so beautiful, right? Like thinking about people having to go intersect and meet one another and share their values, share the thing that makes them them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this beautiful sculpture. One being, I really loved Robert Indiana's love sculpture, if you're familiar with it. It's kind of the iconic 4-letter setup that says love. And the other being the I Am Man kind of posters, protest posters out of the 60s that have made our way, that continuously remind us of where we are. Those two things were at the crux of what I wanted to design, and it wouldn't have become a design without working with Elena Mahoney and her crew, because I went in with it being, here's what I want to do, what do you think? And she was like, you want to try this really cool thing? And I was like, yes. And the way that this sculpture has come together is literally taking stainless steel metal and fabricating it to be the shape like a balloon and inflating it like a balloon. So this is like heavy duty metal turned into a celebratory kind of object. So it mimics balloons that we use to celebrate, to kind of bring awareness or highlight something major happening in our spaces. So it was really awesome to be able to bring that to life with Elena and her crew. The hand-painted part that says I am, it really is coming from the histories of those people. The indigenous folks of this area utilized these aubergine seashells as their adornment, and so that is the layer of purple that you'll see. You'll see yellow there, you'll see blue there, you'll see red. All of those are making nods to the people who really engaged with making this space historically a place of community. So again, I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to learn from you all so that I can then give you this, hopefully a gift. And I'm just filled up by this community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Destiny. And so without any further ado, let's cut the ribbon on this new park.
1, 2, 3.